Climate Outreach is an organisation that looks to widen engagement with the issue of climate change. All too often, climate change is seen as something just for environmentalists, but of course it's not. It's much wider than that. But often the stories, the way climate change is portrayed, seems to only attract the interest of a certain minority, and we need to do much better engaging others on it. So we're here at COP22 helping people understand particularly what images around climate change and such meetings are useful, and those ones that maybe are quite problematic and just keep the issue quite small. So we've all seen images of polar bears, and they're very attractive to some people, but they don't necessarily fulfill the whole issues of climate change, how it's impacting on people's lives in different parts of the world, in Europe, in Africa and around. So we've been looking at the different iconography and understanding how that can change and be more relevant to a wider group of people. We had a great session today in which we brought together some really key people from across the globe who communicate the issue of climate change through visuals. So that included key people from the IPCC, the scientific body. There were key people from the UNFCCC who put this great big event on every year, but also campaigners and academics trying to absorb our understanding or an analysis of which climate images are useful, which are the ones that are overused at COPs, and then how we can transform that visual language to be more engaging for a wider group. And in our analysis we saw that there was time and time again just two types of images that came out from COP last year at Paris. Despite all the positive stories, the agreements and everything else that went on, there were only two types of images. One was politicians sitting around talking, and one was demonstrators doing orchestrated demonstrations. And whilst both of these are important, they don't really put across the whole climate change story effectively to the world, who at this moment in time tend to focus on climate change. The COPs provide that opportunity to paint a new visual story to allow people who don't really get climate change to understand why all these people come to Morocco or Paris to talk about climate change. Yet time and time again we're seeing the same tired images repeatedly used, and while they are effective at engaging some people, they're not brilliant at engaging the rest of us. We're really excited to be here with Place to Be. We had a great experience last year. Place to Be is a wonderful example of how different stories can come out from different sides of the communities, from the media, from different people involved, and is a real example of how our concept of widening engagement can happen in reality. And so it's a real pleasure to be here and looking to partner with Place to Be on the visuals project, and I'm looking forward to working with them, learning from them and helping them be more effective and even more creative in reaching out and creating new stories. I care about climate change. Thousands of people here care about climate change, but not everyone cares about climate change, and this is a problem. The science is sorted. We know that climate change is happening, we know that humans are causing it, and we know it's got an awful lot of trouble in store for us and is already having impacts around the world. We've got technologies, we've got low carbon technologies already in play. We've got policies. Last year at Paris there was a massive agreement that was really positive. We've got almost everything lined up. The one issue that really troubles me and increasingly is being recognised as a major barrier to tackling climate change is that we don't necessarily have the world engaged, wider publics. And we've seen this with the election of Donald Trump in the United States recently, that how climate change is often seen as a political football, that one side is winning and therefore the other side doesn't like. And there we see Trump coming in and potentially causing an awful lot of problems for climate change agreements. If we can make climate change an issue that the majority of the world care about, that get behind, they can disagree over the solutions and exactly what needs to happen. And this is the place to have that. But what we need is wider engagement.